Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling one of the biggest, most frustrating tensions in modern computing. It's that delicate balancing act, right? On one hand, we want incredibly powerful, cloud-like features in our Office software. But on the other hand, we desperately need to keep our local data actually secure. For years, it really felt like you had to choose one or the other. But what if you just didn't have to anymore?
Let's dive right into this problem. Why have we, as professionals, just kind of collectively accepted that we have to compromise our data sovereignty to get our hands on modern tools? We've been completely conditioned to think that if we want smart, collaborative features, well, we just have to upload all our sensitive documents to someone else's server. We're essentially handing over the keys to our digital lives. And honestly, it's a massive trade-off that's getting harder and harder to justify.
Well, enter Collabora Office 26.04. This release is built to be the exact solution to that problem. It takes that beautiful, familiar, and highly capable online experience you might already know from Collabora Online, and it runs it locally, directly on your native desktop. It literally brings the immense power of the cloud right to your local machine. It's completely offline capable, and it does all of this without asking you to sacrifice even an ounce of control over your files. The secret to how smooth this experience is actually lies entirely in the software's DNA. Think about the old way of building Office software. It usually meant totally disjointed web and desktop applications. You had one team building the browser version, another totally different team building the desktop version, and the features almost never synced up. The Collabora way is completely different. They use a single unified codebase, a unified monorepo. That means there is exactly one rendering engine and one front end. So what you know and love in the browser just transfers directly to your desktop.
And because of that shared DNA, the desktop version immediately inherits a massive volume of powerful features from the recent Kodi 2604 release. It's basically a huge, free upgrade. In Writer, you now get deep document comparison tools to view changes side by side. Calc users get a brand new table design tab for styles and calculated pivot table fields. Impress gets these really fantastic upgrades, like collapsible slide sections and a Follow Me collaborative presenting feature. They've even thrown in full Markdown file import and export, so your basic text symbols turn into proper document styling. Plus, vastly improved multi-monitor support. All of this just comes along for the ride, simply because they share that exact same engine.
Okay, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room. AI. Everyone's talking about it right now, and for good reason. But the real differentiator here with Collabora Office 26.04 isn't just that they slap some AI onto it, it's how they fundamentally change the execution to actually respect your workflow, and, more importantly, your privacy.
The contrast between workflows here is just striking. Let's be real, the traditional AI workflow is kind of a nightmare. It's this tedious dance, right? You copy your text, paste it into some clunky external chatbot in your browser, generate a response, copy it back, and boom, you've completely lost all of your document formatting. Collabora completely fixes this with a deeply integrated sidebar. The AI works right inside the document you're already in. It can troubleshoot your calc formulas, turn rough notes into Impress slides, or draft text in Writer. It even has prompt chips and a built-in tone of voice picker to get you moving fast without ever leaving the app.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this AI serves you, not the provider. Collabora engineered this system so they do not sit in the middle collecting your data. Your prompts and your highly sensitive documents aren't being funneled through some middleman just to be harvested for training data. It is entirely on your terms.
Let's walk through how this creates an airtight privacy by design flow. Step 1, you are in the driver's seat. You configure your own model and credentials. That could be a major provider you trust or an entirely self-hosted endpoint that you run yourself. Step 2, the Collabora application talks directly to that provider. Step 3, and this is massive, the AI has zero access to your document data by default. None. Even with the AI sidebar wide open, it cannot read your document unless you give explicit, conscious approval to share a specific part of it.
We should really break down these privacy tenets because they are so important to understand. First off, the AI is completely disabled by default. No one is forced to use it if they don't want to. Second, like we said, no middleman. The chat is strictly between your machine and your chosen model. Third, zero document access without your explicit say-so. Fourth, it is entirely open source all the way down to the metal, meaning no hidden executables secretly phoning home. And finally, it's responsible by default. The software actually surfaces an EU AI Act transparency notice and an ethical AI rating badge, so you know exactly what the model is capable of.
All right, let's pivot slightly from AI back to the platform itself. We've got 3 main apps, Writer, Calc, and Impress, all running on one engine. But what's really incredible about this 26.04 release is how much more native these desktop apps have become. They aren't just lazy local wrappers around a web interface anymore. They have evolved into proper, high-performing citizens of your specific operating system.
Whether you're a Windows, Mac, or Linux user, the integrations run deep. On Windows, you're getting a Win32 and WebView 2 app with native document signing via the Windows Certificate Store, totally native live dark mode, and Microsoft Store packaging. Over on Mac OS, it uses a proper WK WebView tabbed UI, super high-fidelity clipboard interop with your local Mac apps, a hardened runtime, and crisp high DPI fixes. And for the Linux folks, it's a native Qt 6 web engine app right out of the box via Flatpak and Snap. It completely respects your GNOME font scaling settings and uses single-instance document routing over dbus. It just looks and feels like it belongs exactly where it's installed.
All of this polish results in what I like to call a real desktop home for your productivity. Right when you open the software, you're greeted with a beautiful start screen showing your recent docs and a full template gallery. Once you're in, you've got instant quick access to your AI tools, Zotero for referencing, and your document signing options. That native cross-window dark mode follows your system preferences perfectly. Plus, they've added this brilliant smart safety feature, where documents open read-only by default. There's a highly discoverable editing mode toggle right in the toolbar, so you don't accidentally mess up an important file when you're just trying to read it.
Now, I want to shift tones for just a second and be completely candid with you, because the developers are very candid about this in their own notes. This 26.04 desktop release is fresh, it is moving incredibly fast, and it's a preview of where they are headed. This is not yet officially enterprise-supported software. There will be bugs, performance might vary a bit, but as they perfectly state, that's not a warning so much as an invitation. It is an awesome opportunity to get in on the ground floor of something that's really shaking up the space.
And that naturally brings us to a huge call to action for the open source community. This entire release exists because of a growing, friendly community pulling in the exact same direction. And they want you to jump in and kick the tires right now. Whether you want to test the software and file bug reports, help translate and document new features, or actually roll up your sleeves and write some patches in JavaScript, CSS, or C++, there is a spot for you. By jumping in today, you literally help shape the direction of this software before it rolls out for full enterprise support.
Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question to ponder. Is your current Office suite truly serving you, or is it just harvesting your data? When you look at how Collabora Office 26.04 seamlessly combines the massive power of unified cloud features, deep native OS integrations, and a totally uncompromising privacy-by-design approach to AI, well, it really makes you rethink the trade-offs you've been putting up with. You just don't have to choose between smart tools and data sovereignty anymore. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely encourage you to go explore this amazing open source project for yourself.